Iburu, Iboya, Buche, Che, everybody in Cyberland. Awarumina Dileke, coming at you with another Pataki. This one was specifically designed and asked for by somebody who left me a comment. And I want to make sure that I honor those so you guys know that no matter what, if a comment comes out or you guys have suggestions, I'll add it to my list of videos that I'm thinking about doing. And then I add that in there so that way we always have something going, and we're constantly keeping the communication going. And like I told you guys before, we learn, we teach, we learn from each other, we repeat. It's a constant cycle of knowledge and information. All right, so for this particular sign that I want to talk about, I want you all to remember that there's 256 Oduns in Ifa. And of these 256 Oduns of Ifa, everything has an ethical and a moral code that's designed for it. Everything gives you a glimpse of something else. Everything is connected, okay? It's like a spider web, all right? And a spider web is constantly connected with different strands. And when you look at it, there's a center and it expands out, and you never know what you're gonna get unless you fully try to understand the bigger picture of things. Okay, talking about the spider web is my segue into the sign. The sign that represents the spider web, that represents the wheel. Why? Because the wheel is like the no-kidding cycle of life. And certain patterns in life are always gonna be present, whether we want them there or not. All right, so let's hear this Pataki, and then we'll talk about the ethical and moral design within Otrupon Bekonwa. Otrupon Bekonwa is Otrupon Ogbe. Otrupon Ogbe, this Pataki goes like this. There was a family, and the husband was a hunter. He was a hunter-gatherer, like many were back in the day. And the family also consisted of his mom, his dad, grandparents, and then he had his own. He had his wife, his kids, and so forth. So he was the hunter, and this hunter was a very humble and noble hunter. And he would go out and he would go hunt, and he would only get what he needed for the family. And then he would go out again, and the family would always tell him, hey, you need to go get more, let's stockpile it. And he's like, there's no need. There's enough food out there so that we don't necessarily have to kill for the sake of killing. We don't have to sacrifice for the sake of sacrificing, so we need to just eat what we need and move on. That is the cycle of life. We need to do things based on abundance. It's not necessarily the key, but we want to ensure that we're not being gluttonous. And that was his point. So he goes out and hunts. All right. Now, if he would have took the family's advice, he wouldn't have needed to go out and hunt, because he would have got a few days worth of food and so forth, and he would have been okay. So he ends up going to hunt. And at this point, he's looking for his prey, and he comes around this valley, okay? And he goes through this valley, and he notices and he hears like a moan, like a growl, and he's trying to figure out what it is. When he walks to kind of investigate what is going on, maybe there's something dangerous, something lurking, right? He needs to prepare himself. He's getting a little uneasy. He notices that there's a hole, right? And the hole seems to be kind of covered by a rock. And he's trying to figure out what's going on. So what he did was he pulled the rock, which was like a boulder. He pushed it out the way, and he noticed that inside that hole there was a tiger. And the tiger begins to talk to the hunter and tells the hunter, hey, let me out. Let me out. The hunter's like, why would I let you out? You're a tiger. I let you out, you're probably just going to eat me. The tiger is like, no, I'm not going to do that. So the hunter said, all right, well, let's go ahead and make a deal. I let you out, but you got to promise not to eat me. All right. So tiger says, okay. The hunter goes ahead and helps him out. The tiger's not out. But now the tiger's out, and the tiger is giving him that, you look like a good meal eye. All right. So the hunter quickly used his mind and said, okay, I gotta get ahead of this. So he convinces the tiger to say, hey, you're looking at me with those eyes like you want to eat me. So I want to make another deal with you. I want to show you that no matter what, a good deed is received by a good deed. And the tiger's like, nope, no good deed goes unpunished. And that was the tiger's stance. Okay? So now the hunter has one stance, so does the tiger. So the hunter says, well, I'll convince you. Let's go down these paths and we'll stop three different, in this case, there were animals, and we'll ask them the same question and see if they have the same perspective. So they go down the path, they find a cow, and actually there's an ox, and he asks the ox, hey, what's going on? You know, what do you think about this saying that no good deed goes unpunished? And then the ox says, well, it's true, because look at me. From a little baby, I'm fed, they give me milk, they take care of me, I work hard, and at the end, they take me to the slaughterhouse, and I become steak, and I become beef, I become somebody's meal at the end of the day. So all good that I did ends up with me dying. So then, they go to a horse, and the horse does the same thing, right? So the horse, they ask him the question, and the horse now tells him the same thing. Yeah, as a little kid, I'm raised by my mom. I'm on my mom's side. Everything is great. We're riding with people and so forth. And then the moment I get tired and people can't ride me anymore, they kill me. So all the good that I did ends up with me in death. Next thing they do is they go to a fox. And now they ask the fox the same thing. But at this time, the tiger's starting to get really, really, really impatient. The tiger's like, look, man, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat you. It is what it is. But at this point, the tiger agrees. Okay, we have a pack. I'll hear you out. This is the last one. And then boom, hunter. Hate to tell you, man, you're my meal. So they talk to the fox. And the fox actually agrees with the hunter now and says, no, all good deeds come with good deeds. A good for a good. And the tiger's like, how do you figure? This is what happened. A good deed is now going to equal to me out of the hole based on a good deed from the hunter, and now I eat the hunter. So no good deed goes unpunished. And the fox is like, no, I don't really believe you. You know, and I don't even know how you got in the hole to begin with. You're telling me, how did you do that? How did you fall in a hole for a hunter to help you? So the tiger explains. The fox, being the sly fox, right, says, no, I still don't believe you. I don't even think that happened. I don't even know how is that even possible. How'd you slip? That makes no sense. Because the tiger gives him this whole big story that he slipped, he fell in the hole, and then a rock came, and a boulder went over the hole. So the fox is like, I don't believe you. So the tiger's like, no, I'll show you. So they go back to the hole. The tiger reenacts the whole thing and says, look, this is what happened, and this is why I'm right. So they go through the whole thing. The tiger goes back in the hole, tells the hunter, put the boulder on so they can see how everything is reenacted. And the hunter puts the boulder back on. And at that very point, the fox looks at the hunter and says, well, no good deed goes unpunished. Or no good deed goes without a good deed. And they leave the tiger there. What's the moral of this story? Okay. One is that we've always lived our lives with the aspect of no good deed goes unpunished. All right. And in that case, there was a very good chance that the hunter helping out this tiger was going to end his life and was going to take him, eat him for food. Right. But it didn't work that way, because the hunter fought hard for his beliefs, understanding that it's necessary to still be good and humble. All right, the fox helped them with that. So, do all good deeds go unpunished? No. Do we have to be sly like the fox to ensure that we're not taken advantage of? Yes. Do we have to be careful with the good deeds that we do so we're not taken advantage of and we don't end up in a different scenario where the good deed that we actually did is the tiger, and the tiger turns back on us? Got to be very careful in life. Not everybody is pure of heart. So Bekonwa teaches us that the wheel, the circle of life, the evolution of life and people and human beings and characteristics. You're never gonna find everybody that's good. You're gonna find people that are just as bad. For every good, there's a bad, and life is a balance. Obatala teaches us the balance of life, the scales, and why it's important for us to use our ori, use your head, okay? Walk a path, because that is where the true faith and the true power is at, is walking the righteous path. So with that said, Cyberland, I will tell you, give me a like, share, throw a comment down, give me some ideas. I'm here for each and every one of you guys. I love the fact that you guys are responding. If you guys need anything through email, la regla de Ifa at Gmail. So that's la.de.regla. I'm sorry, la.regla.de.ifa at gmail.com. Here to answer all questions. And if you haven't noticed, I'm outside, different scenery. It's because I'm with my wonderful wife while she watches me do a video. And with that said, Cyberland, Iburu, Iboya, Ibucheche.